This is a quick walkthrough on how to use Textivate to be able to commit a text to memory. Here's an example of a question which you might get in the French GCSE. Que penses-tu des réseaux sociaux? What do you think of social networking? And there's a model answer in French, and then there's a translation in English over there. And there's a second part there. So this is what you do. Having prepared that in that format, you then open Textivate. When you go to Textivate, it will have whatever you used last time, and it'll be waiting for you to log in at the top right. So here goes, click on login, I'll put in my username, there we are, and then because I'm the teacher, I'm going to be putting in my password there, but you as a student will put the student password that I've given you there. So you just have Ashcombe1 and then your student password, and then you submit the login data. And then it's all ready for you to be able to use. So you're going to just be putting a text in here, and then you're going to be wanting to put what's called a parallel text in here. So let's start off with the text. So here's the text, and I can just do a copy, and then I open up my Textivate and I can paste it in there, and then I go back to get the second part of it here. Just copy that and go into Textivate again, and there it is. So now that's the text that I want to learn, the question and the answer. But what I want to do is to have a parallel text so that I can always be seeing the English, which I've then got to reconstruct. For that, I'm going to click on Extras. And by the way, while I'm here, I can make it that I could let it read it out to me in French so that I can hear my text there. I haven't got a match left to right, so the main text is French. But the important thing I want to do is to put in here the English translation of the text that I've put in French. So I go back to my document, go up to my English, there's the first bit, Control C, then go to Textivate, there we are, and then I go back and let's do the other bit. And it doesn't seem to mind that it's in different boxes. Let's see. There we are. So now that is the parallel text for the text that I've put in there. So there's the text, and in the extras I've got the parallel text. And before I save it, I'm just going to see whether or not it's worked. So I click on Textivate because that's what will get me the exercise. So at the moment I've got the text and I've got the parallel text. Oh no, I tell you what, I haven't got rid of the original German stuff that I had. So it's not a bad thing to show you this. Okay, so the problem with this is that in this match I still had this left over. There we are. So now definitely that's all I want. You don't really need to be learning about German at the same time. So now let's see if it works. So Textivate. There I am, I've got it, and you'll notice there that I've got a
Ah, que penses-tu des réseaux sociaux? Je les aime beaucoup. J'ai des comptes sur Facebook, Instagram et Snapchat, et je suis souvent en contact avec mes amis.
And actually the quality of that is good, really. Things have moved on so far since this first came into being. So I've got the text there, but I want to do an exercise with it. And when you're trying to learn how to reconstruct it, I would say the place you want to go to is letters. If you go to letters, and you can decide how difficult you want to make it, but really the most difficult is to have no letters at all. So that means you've got no letters at all to help you. But obviously we need to know what you're trying to say. So can you see this up here? There's it looks like an A4 piece of paper. Show activity with the additional text. If I click on that, it'll restart the activity, that's fine. And there I've got the question. Now what I realised actually is that I put A, haven't I? Put A. So you can actually type it. So I might get rid of that. And then I can either click on these, but it takes quite a long time. Or I can do it this way, que penses-tu and now here is where I think that it is quite forgiving in that I didn't put the accent there, but it put it in. Oh, but it put it in for me. I'm talking away, that's why I made a mistake there. There we go. And so you go on. Okay, and at the moment I've got 91% and so on. So I've actually decided that I want to get rid of that A because that's not very helpful. So if I go back, I'm going to take out that A there. Oh, yeah, I've actually got to go to the home page. That's right, I've got to go to the home page in order to get rid of that. I'm going to get rid of the A. I'm going to get rid of the B. And I think that, in my parallel text, it didn't have A and B anyway. It was just like that. So I think now that should be what I want. Let's just check. So Textivate, letters, no letters. And I want to see my parallel text at the same time. OK. And then I've got rid of the A and the B. So that should work out quite well. Now, if I want to make it that for another time, I've got that as a link and I can keep it, I've then got to save it. So if we go back again, back to Textivate homepage, it's at that point you click on this arrow here, this upload, and I want to upload it as a new resource. If you have saved changes made to this resource, it may be that whatever resource you had beforehand is going to get lost. So I would say upload as a new resource and then give it a name. So then you fill it in. I've put GCSE Technology QA. If it's just for you, if it's your work and you don't want others to see it, which I would suggest is the case when it's something that you're preparing for an exam, just make it private so that you see it. And I've put the information about the resource, French text plus parallel text. And then the default is that you've written and understood the terms and conditions. You then upload the resource. It's been successfully uploaded. Now, once it's successfully uploaded, then it's got a URL, which means that when you Textivate it now, so let's do this, Textivate. I go back to my, what was it again, letters, no letters. I then add the parallel text, okay. And then, so that I don't have to keep doing that, I could save it as a favourite, or I can just share it so that I can have that as an address. Now I've just thought, yes, because I said you couldn't share it, you can't get an address for other people, so you could just click on that to make it a favourite, and let's see what happens. Okay, so I've clicked on favourite, so what's going to happen then? How can I find this again? Well, let's go back to see what happens when you actually get to your home page. You could have been doing something else before this. You would go on to search. This is how you always find things. You click on search, and then you can either go to my resources up there or my resources there. It doesn't matter which way you do it. And within my resources, you've also got favourites. Actually, if I've done that wrong, let me have a look again. So if I do search, actually, yes, I didn't need to go to my resources. I can just go to favourites, and I favourited this thing, GCSE Technology QA. Yeah, so that hasn't done what I expected. I thought it was going to save it with the text. So you've just got to remember to do this, to go to the Textivate and then open up that and then do whatever task it is you want to do. So letters, no letters, and you can do it that way. So it doesn't look as if there's a way of saving that in that way. As a teacher, if I wanted to make it publicly available, this is what I would do. When I upload the resource, I'm going to edit this, and I'm actually going to make it shareable. I think that's what I'll do. If I do it shareable, save changes, okay, so that now when I go to Textivate, then I add the parallel text and I go for the activity, which is letters, no letters. Then can you see there's this little sharing icon here, share, and that's then given me an address. But very importantly, you have to click up there to include the extra text, otherwise it won't appear. So now I've included the extra text and I've got the URL, then that's something which is shared, and so that can be a link which you can keep and you can find at any time. So at the moment I'm doing Control-C and I'll show you how it works. So if I've done Control-C. If I go to another tab to demonstrate what happens, Control-V, open that, and that takes me straight there, so I don't have to keep on going through that detail. So that's the sort of thing you could perhaps save in your class notebook. Hope that helps.